three, four, five. It, return away with $40 million.
Got nice volume pushing into field zone. I have not entered into anything yet. Volume is strong. I just don't really have any good entry right now. Yes, the entry at 625 is better off the perp than 630 that we just had there, just because of the distance to the perp line. So although 630 give us some pretty solid volume to the bottom, that is too much for me to get into. Not too big of a risk, but it's too far away from the perp. So now I'll wait to see what we do here at P. Got a wick to the bottom here at P. Once again, I have a downtrend off of the 1 hour. We're here at the low of the day. Low of the day is P. Got some pretty big support here. Big wick to the bottom. We have a minute left.
Come across on a day-to-day basis. That would be the seller for $1 million. All of my some $1 million. Just do the types of still need shareholder. Higher. Sure how to do that's way to go about.
big week off of people, so
participate time continue into that and roll out back so they do acquisitions, so on and so forth. You've got private equity rates with the company. The company is now going out making acquisitions. And is even percent with waste management time. Right? They might be able to sell that 20 our firm, and 80% of it uh, taken every year. You see those. Um, and you the sound.
support here off People's Zone. A small downtrend line that was formed during London. Price is about to back up. That's what I'll be worried about.
That's typically um, have a variety of in my most visible as or a year revenue are going from zero experience to the ultimate say, private that is given a lot of this and structure the ways this down the
So far, we've only had some volume to the downside, but we had support off P. Right now, I'm looking at those two levels, right? The level that's P goes zone pretty much, and the level that's right above us.
right. Business right? Then after that, raise it's pretty tough. It's just so.
Remember now, when prices are under 500, helps to be more patient
A firm that
because prices kind of believe in what you want to believe in.
distribution
The probability entry.
wise, you've got engineering, so like uh, builder, line to the actual more I think
Oh, excuse me.
um, so set up there's a lot of redundant well, these sort of stuff. And great focus on large companies and then experts and provide portfolio business and private equity firms for it for all the portfolio he's not the jump probably not for you. Builder, in line with the actual more value. So set up those sorts of activities to the table. But I think set up there's a lot of owner before the higher
They're off of nothing really, kind of just 500 at level.
audio business and running new firms. We have all audio companies. We
People up again.
is not for you. If you're you probably not for you. Your market is 20, 30. You know, and if you're not outside the expert, they're not you. Determine whether private equity work out for us. There's private equity CEO, so maybe the board doesn't have this. Find a way into your inbox. Say, reach out to one, maybe to talk to you about. That's an example.
What I'm looking at is price bounced off P gold zone. That's the low of the day. And price is still within Asia right now. And we're still within those two levels. So don't start getting all excited. Manage what you see. We're rejecting the 500. Doesn't mean we won't go up. Doesn't mean we won't go up. Big ass doji forming here.
Give the jet. You're ready to perform. I do. When it comes to that, they participate. But at the end of the day, they have to. They what? It was moving. They want to focus on the things you should use. Equity, I always what I do. That's price cost process. Easy. I don't care if it's a private just only pay how that business gets it. When it comes to holding this business, maybe I explore doing a deal with private equity. But roll some equity at some point like that. Figure out craft market. This I have set it last farms out interested. A lot what it is that you and that might be the private. I'll give you an example of that. I once had a client just about private I offered management or something. And my client, I really hold this 10 years from one phone and be so I've got a leader. There's some nuances. So he puts it on a phone, and instead of just doing the product, we actually specific from what it is that and actually never fired at the end of the day. On it because we weren't reacting. We were, and a lot of sellers make them everyone's themselves. So they're very good. So our client is these um, we got a good review and so forth. You know,
Price point is 500 still.
recently, but definitely, I think from my role, this relative, that's another thing to move on. Well, that's just feel every one of you will be these when it comes to all those should have cool. When we got the that you as I just asked, in your perception, it doesn't um, firms because you know that you down because of the you know, have an opportunity to see always time blah blah blah. You want to do your business. Whether to make a really state situation percent off the table and rolling use to you had a partner who I walk CEO operator and take over from it. Be doing my day to day. That will really fun. Do a lot. Well, you all today. Yes, I go to
All
what?
pushing to what?
One. Figurehead. Oftentimes you have to do a lot more. There are cases where you will. So think about and it can actually yes,
500 heart level.
through what the appropriate have and you so I want to you know capability to really file use various different ingredients and company and moving forward. I said, you're going to knock these up to my capital base, and I can be here right now. It's a whole sort of capabilities over the course of the year, dramatically increase the value of the business, include tons of money in clients. And by doing that, actually, and that's got a roadmap. Like, we first got working hours, we private equity in addition to order. And if so, what would it take? Times 20 a week. So, we're getting the price up sky high. And now we're very good position. Or again, but why would not you actually what's the product? I'm going to use those products. I'm going to
Uh,
what it is that I'm going to line myself as opposed to whatever. Always be so I'm not going to go into all the things I will
Once
say.
this candle closes, I'm gonna go get some water and make me some oatmeal. We're still kind of in between those two levels there. It's 7:05 coming up. Still, the only thing I'm looking at are those two levels, the 500 P gold zone that we just supported off of. All right, I'll be right back. Price not really moving anymore. Looking at Liddy candles. Liddy candles are kind of changing up green. Dang, I forgot to put cinnamon. Freaking love oatmeal. Why is there no like gourmet oatmeal? I've never had like a gourmet oatmeal. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Specifically when you're dealing with. Now that you know what your business is for today, what your business.
And I'm just gonna put it out there for you guys as well. If you guys know anybody, whether you know somebody that you can make an introduction, or I can possibly negotiate some funding from them. I don't care if it's a bank you know, or a friend of the family, or a friend of friend. If anybody of you guys has anybody you guys know in the financial world, I gotta find some funding for my company in Vietnam. If anybody can even make an introduction, an email, anything that results in me getting money, I'll take care of you guys if I can get any of that funding. So I'll put it out there because I know it's just opportunity. So for anybody that knows private equity, hedge fund, dirty money, that's the only one, depending on where it's coming from. I might be able to do something with it, but then I would say take the dirty money, go wash it, put it in the bank, and then give it to me. But this is my legit company in Vietnam that I gotta get about. I already got the majority of what I needed yesterday. I need about right now I need a line of credit. About $5 million line of credit. Hey Ruben, make an introduction for me, bro. You can make an introduction. I don't care if he's even just a bank teller, or I don't even care if he's a janitor or whatever. Like if there's money to be found, I will sniff it out. So anything. I put it out to you guys because it's opportunity. Like if I can get even $1 million worth of credit, I'll take care of you guys. So I'll put it out there because that's one of the easiest ways for you guys to make a little bit of money, and it'll be substantial. The amount that I can give you, if I can get $1 million+ from them, it will be substantial. But I put it out there for anybody. It's okay if your friends are poor, Nathan, but maybe they know somebody. But I'm for real, guys. Like I need I needed to get 15 million altogether, and I got together the 10 million already, and now I need a floating line of credit of 5 million. Bro, I'll come to church. I'll come to church if you can make that introduction. And I'm serious, guys. I'm very serious. I've made some of the most money and I've made some of the best connections just referring people. So I mean I got money and I'm comfortable in life, but my value comes from my resources. So when people need something, they can come to me and they know they can come to me and I'll make it happen. So if you don't come from money, I feel like that's the best way to go about making more money. And sometimes not even making money, but just to live a comfortable life. That's one of the best things I have found in my life to do is just connect people. And even if you guys don't know anybody, there's also a billionaire guy, but I don't know him that well, but I could try to get you connected. Well, put me in front of people. All I'm gonna say is put me in front of the person. I'll make it happen. Grab it out of the 10. Yeah, that would take me a couple years. That might be better than going to college. Price still rejecting the 500. Of course, they're gonna ask what it's in it for them. You make the introduction, and I'll handle the rest. Just know I'm not fucking around with like hundreds of dollars. I'm fucking around with millions of dollars. So, and if you feel like you need to have the reason, you let me know. You let me know who this person is, and let me research him a little bit. And if he's somebody that I think is really really possible, then tell him I need upwards of $5 billion. Like if this is the type of person that you feel like could go into business and partner with me, make an introduction. Make an introduction, and I'll handle the rest. This is business. Everybody's always going to ask what's in it for them. The profits aren't. I'm not worried about the profits. I need like $2 to $5 million every month. Yeah, bro. I'm not. This is not small money. I spend about $2 million every month buying scrap steel. That's just the scrap steel. That's not even. There's that's about 2% of my process for the steel company. And don't get me wrong, the millionaire guy might be just perfect as well. So don't you this is not to sound like a dickhead or anything like that, but you don't know what anybody is capable of, right? Like even for myself, people don't realize I manage a multi-million dollar company because I don't act like it, right? I don't act like it in front of you guys because I don't need to. Right? Like that's not that part of my life is I take care of that in a different aspect. But with anybody, don't for all you know, the millionaire guy might have more access to money than the billionaire guy. And even though sometimes the billionaire guy might seem like the best guy to go to, I'll tell you, the billionaire guy has billionaire time. So he may not give us the time of day like the millionaire guy might, right? The millionaire guy might see more value out of what I have to offer him than the billionaire guy. So do not limit your guys' selves when it comes to that type of shit because you never know. Like you never know. And it might just be easier. You know, it might be easier with the millionaire dude. Make an introduction. Maybe both of them. Maybe both of them want to partner with me. All I know is whoever sees my financials and what I'm trying to do will have no problem saying yes. So it's guaranteed profits. If he inherited everything from his dad, that might be a good person. Got some volume here pushing through the level, the 500 perp. We got the candles are green. Okay. So that's my steel company in Vietnam. Feel free if you want to just hint to him. Like I have a 500 plus employees. Like it's not a small company. It's a big company. So big ass volume right now. This price is pushing up. I'm currently moving my stop loss into profit. I'm kind of moving my stop loss into profit now because we are coming up to the downtrend line. Chris, just letting you know you just got off of mute. Oh, you just got off the chat. Big volume pushing up right now. So we're coming towards this downtrend line that I have. Right now I'm currently about 300 in profit. I'm gonna see if this P gold zone movement is real as we're breaking through the perp line. Solid volume. Beautiful volume. Since 650, nice. I've been holding since about 635, and then I added to it at 650. So I'm going in profit about 300, only because we are at that downtrend line that I have drawn since London. So I'm in profit 300. Stop loss is in profit. As you can see, I'm at that downtrend line. I don't know if on the short term we'll reject and come down. All I know is I took it off the P gold zone down over here. Started jamming a little bit more contracts at 650 when we got the hammer. And now let's see if we're pushing up. So currently floating 406 in profit. Stop loss 300 in profit there. So I'll hold for the sky right now. Two strap, baby, let go.
We are at our 2025 Mastermind at Park City. We've watched people grow in such amazing ways. We have doctors that are eclipsing us, being guided by.
Lady candles are still green. Nice volume here still. Once again, the only thing where I'm looking at right now is this downtrend that we're currently at, but I'm in profit 300. So I'll just hold right here. Either we'll get the continued push up, finish the push to gold zone, or we'll reject and come back down here. So worst case, I take 300. Worst case, I take 302.50. I can't lose money today. You guys all took 650. How come nobody took 635? There's no wrong answer, and you guys didn't do anything wrong. Nice, okay. Emmanuel, you said you took 650. How come you decided not to take 635? I did, but took profit at that level. Very nice. I took it, but the red candle took me out. Which red candle took you out? 645? So I'm tapped out there, 302.50. So if you got in at 635, you took you out for a loser? You got in at 630. Stop loss under the candle. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page what we're talking about here. You entered in off of 630, which is the candle pushing into P gold zone, right? Not the candle that broke it yet. No, the candle 635. So if you entered in at 635, which is the big wick to the bottom, your stop loss should have been underneath 635's candle. So that's why I'm trying to understand why you got tapped out at 650. $645. So you entered in, so I'm in understanding. You entered in here at 635 off of the wick to the bottom. When price moved up through the gold zone, you brought stop loss into profit. Is that what I'm understanding? Okay. So good entry. Probably why'd you move stop loss into profit so quickly? Small account, or are you trading at a big lot size? You're trading at one. Okay, because I'm just questioning why that's too much. So, I mean, if you're doing fine with growing your account and staying consistent, that's totally fine. But like I'm telling you guys, if you guys are moving stop loss into profit because you're afraid of price rejecting, you're trading too much. Your lot size is too high. Right? And I know it seems counterintuitive because in the moment it feels like you're not making a lot. But this entry here, like you'll see my stop loss never gets moved into profit until we break the level, right? And why am I able to be confident enough to just hold through price breaking through the level? Because I'm at a decent lot size that I can handle the loser. Give me 1 second here. I jammed contracts at 650. So I got in at 635. And that's why I like gotta look at the overall move, right? Like the overall move for me was price at least getting to my downtrend line, which is where we're at right now. Like for me, I'm satisfied with this movement so far. I don't care if this continues all the way up to the next gold zone. My thought process is always going to be to the nearest support or resistance. And in this case, as I'm getting in my entry off of P gold zone, I'm asking myself, where am I looking that there might be a possible resistance, right? To the top. So as I'm entering in here off 630, 650 gives me kind of the okay. And yes, we're not near the perp, but also today I'm treating like Monday. So some indicators I'm just like, I'm not too worried about it. It is what it is. So as I'm getting in off of 635, I'm looking to the top side and exactly what we're doing right now, right? Price is rejecting the exact area that I was afraid of, right? Am I a pit profit? Possibly. Am I just somebody who's taking the entry based off of probability? That's more of what I'll lean to, right? So looking at my 635 entry, looking upwards, right, towards where the downtrend is, that's about 1,500 pips. So 1,500 pips away tells me, yeah, get into a decent lot size, hold it. As I'm looking at P at 635, price pushes up. Then what do I see? I see price reject back down at 650 and then give us a nice little hammer. So to me, whatever you want to call this a W, you want to call this a BRC, whatever it is, it's just a continuation of 635, right? So at 635 or 650, I'm sorry, I start jamming the contracts and I didn't get into much because there was only, the price didn't move a lot at this time. So I only had to get into like 8 contracts, I think, for me to get to my stop loss of like 3 or 400. And then I just held, right? Because even at 650, as I'm jamming contracts, $300-400 risk, that's worth it for me to see price move up. Because what's the other thing? Price might come down. Price might come down. Yes, tap me out 300-400, and then I'm gonna sell off of the gold zone. So to me, it doesn't matter as long as I'm taking my entry near the gold zone. I'll hold, and even at from 650 ish, price continues to be green litty candle all the way up. 715 is my kicker. 750, 715 is my kicker to believe that I got into the right side entry, right? Now that pushes up and above the level, that pushes up above the 500, pushes up above perp, and that's where I started to move stop loss into profit because of this downtrend. Yes, we are kind of looking like we want to break. And if we're looking at the overall is the gold zone support. So gold zone support would tell us most likely gold zone movement. What do I have up here? This blue line is the 1 hour that I told you guys I drew off of the 1 hour. A big 1 hour downtrend line up here at R1. So there's a lot of reason to believe that price would want to go all the way up there. But my job is to take what I currently see, and the current movement was just P gold zone to this downtrend line. Whatever we do here is whatever we do here. Because just as much as price could go up, price could come down here off of this downtrend line. But my my real important thing to you guys, what do you think of 715 entry when it crossed the perp? I don't think it's a bad entry, right? So if we're not considering 635 or 650 and we're not in an entry, what I would be looking at is the same thing. The same thing I considered at 635 and at 650 is the same thing I would be considering here off of 715, right? So entry off of 715, what am I going to risk? I'll risk about 720. I still have to be careful of this downtrend. So if I'm looking at that, there's about 500 pips to the downtrend line. It's not the best entry, but it's not a bad entry. Like if you're in this to the top side at 715, you should probably have your stop loss and profit kind of hovering around, I don't know, this area right here underneath that downtrend line, right? You'd be a couple hundred pips in profit. If price continues, great. If price rejects and comes down, great, right? You're just always looking at where is the next support or resistance that we should be afraid of. And and that's why, our win ratio is high, and sometimes our risk to reward may not be the best, but as long as you know that there's enough room between your entry and where you're afraid that price might either range or resist or reject, I think it's a fine entry, right? Because there's at least today there's three entries, right? So far. 635, 650, and that 715, right? As we get further away from the gold zone, it becomes a less attractive entry, right? Because in this whole scheme of trying to forecast where we're going to go, the one thing that we can almost guarantee is the movement off of the gold zone, right? And once again, this comes back into the probability mindset. I know for a fact that almost 99% of the time, we are going to make a move off of the gold zone. And it's kind of crazy to think because actually it's 100%. 100% of the time, price moves away from the gold zone, right? It's a fact. It's either going to buy or it's either going to sell. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. So if we know that there is 100% chance that we are moving away from a gold zone when we are at a gold zone, then you should be getting into entries 100% of the time off of a gold zone. Does that make sense, everybody? I know it sounds kind of like no shit, Ed, but do you guys actually believe in that, right? And for the few of you that have messaged me already and that are talking, Ruben, Isaiah, Emmanuel, like for those of you that took 630 and 650, this is kind of not a question for you guys because you guys did take it off the gold zone. But for anybody else, whether you're going to answer me now, later, or you're just talking to yourself in your head, or you're too shy to let me know, ask yourselves, why didn't you guys? Right? If anybody didn't take 635, or if anybody didn't take 650, you have to ask yourself, why didn't? Why didn't you? What held you back from getting in when you know that price usually moves from this area? Because you have to, right? The juice strat is a roadmap, and every time we're at a gold zone, we're pretty much at the entry point, right? So the entry means we're getting in somewhere near a gold zone, and that's what we're going. Like it's kind of it's a sense of relief. Like every time I think about my strategy and how it works, I'm always like at a sense of fucking like disbelief. That's exactly what it is. And that's why it's hard for me to kind of explain how I feel about my strategy, which is how I know some of you guys feel. But it's like, how the fuck do I know this shit? Right? I don't. Like, really, I don't. The only thing that I do know is that we're going to move. Like, we're going to move. The likelihood of us of when price gives us a perp entry, the likelihood of us going in the right direction, almost 100% of the time. When price is at a gold zone, like 630 and 650, and then it shows us direction on where it wants to go, it's almost 100% that it's gonna go the right direction of wherever it told us, right? And the moment that you guys start believing in that, the faster like trading becomes easier for you, right? Because there's no doubt. Like when I see 630, 650, when I got in at 635, that's all I'm doing. Like, am I worried at 635? Yes. I'm already worried at 635 because it is a big wick to the bottom, which doesn't necessarily always mean that price doesn't want to go down, right? Because if there's a big ass wick to the bottom, that also means that there could be interest to the downside, right? So it's kind of like a two-sided coin, it's a double-edged sword. What do we want to believe? And because I teach you guys trading and how to read these candles, kind of backwards, right? It's what is it not doing? A wick to the bottom tells us price did not want to go down. Doesn't mean that price isn't going to go down, but for the moment being, price told us it didn't want to go down. When I see that off of a gold zone and a level, while we're pretty much oversold, it's almost a no-brainer for me to get into the top side. Because even here at the entry at 635, if I'm wrong, then what am I going to do? I'm going to exit or I'm going to get tapped out and then I'm going to sell off, right? The same way I was excited about taking a buy here off the gold zone, if price decides to tell me that it doesn't want to go up and it's going to come down, then I'm going to sell off at the gold zone. How am I able to think that clearly? I'm not trading at a crazy lot size, right? Like even right now, I'm trading on the MYM. I'm not trading the YM. So, and I'm bringing this up because more and more you guys have a difficulty managing the entry, right? You guys get into good entries. You guys know where the good entries are, but now it's managing the entry as you're in it, right? Because at 635, if you had moved stop loss up, and this is for everybody, it's not just for Emmanuel. This is only for Emmanuel because he has a good example today. If you're in at 635, there should be really no reason why you move stop loss until it gets above the next level, right? Because that's the next thing. The level, and I constantly brought that up, right? These two levels that we have here, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the breakout of this area, either the downside P gold zone level or the top side 500 level that we just pushed out of here. At no point should you be exiting or moving stop loss until price gets above, and that's not until like 7:15. So you, whatever it is, if it's because you trade at a higher lot size and you're scared to lose money and on it coming back, drop the lot size. Because I don't, it's, and here's the most important reason: the instant gratification is gonna kill you guys long term. So if you guys are looking for the instant gratification of making money, like a substantial amount right now, that's gonna kill your journey into becoming like a consistently profitable trader, right? Because you can't, like, you gotta let the trade play out. And it's a breath of fresh air when you just let it play out and you're like, ah, yeah. Because now what you're reinforcing is that you're good at this, right? You're reinforcing that you can believe in the strategy. Because even till right now, Liddy candles are still green, price is still moving up. The whole point behind the juice trade is to be able to get the most out of this movement here, make the most money, right? I've only made $300 today. I'm pretty fucking ecstatic with that. I'm ecstatic that I was able to only risk 30, $40 when I first entered. I waited for price to break at 650, added to it, as price broke the level 500 and perp at 715. Beautiful. I'm moving stop loss into profit. Stop loss is now in profit. I don't risk anything. And now we're just holding. So once again, we do the same shit every day, right? And I'm just trying to make sure that you guys, whatever makes you guys kind of skew away from what we're supposed to be doing every day, I want you guys to stop doing it, right? Like that's the only way you guys are going to get better at this. Whatever you guys are doing that is deviating and making you deviate from the normal strategy and the plan of the juice, you have to stop, right? Whether it's trading at too high of a lot size, like one lot size on the normal YM is a lot. It is a lot if you're not 100% sure about what you're doing, right? And if you're not dealing with a $2,000, limit. Because for all of you guys that are on funded accounts or trying to get a funded account, right? You only have $2,000 to worry about. Like you can only lose 2,000 before you lose the account, or you stop trading for the day, depending on how deep in the hole you are. So you cannot even put yourself close to having to worry about losing the account. And that's why I tell you guys from the beginning as well. I don't even want you guys to attempt a funded account until you guys are 100% confident about doing this on the demo account. And yes, once again, I'm always going to come back to that instant gratification feeling. Like I get it. It feels good to make real profits and to make real money. And yes, making $300 versus $30 feels a lot better in the short term. But think about what you're doing that's holding you back from being able to live the lifestyle that I have versus your guys' lifestyle, right? There's nothing wrong with your guys' lifestyles, but the reason why you guys are all here is to be able to live a lifestyle that is more closer to mine than it is your guys, right? It's just a fact. I want to make more fucking money than I currently make. And I know that I still have to follow the same shit that I do every day. If not, I won't be able to live the life I live, right? So all of these things, you guys trading, if it's something that you guys are doing that I'm not, you have to not do it, right? Bao, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. So for anybody that traded yesterday, you know, people messaged me and they asked me, "Are you trading Monday for Memorial Day?" And I said no. And some of them gave me reasons as to why they might try to trade yesterday. I'm not going to tell you guys not to trade, yes, right? Like, I'm not going to tell you guys don't trade. You guys already know I'm not trading on Memorial Day because the New York Stock Exchange is closed. Is price going to move? Yes, because the rest of the world is still trading. But for other people, you guys got to stop doing what I'm not doing, right? Good. And I'm not, Bao, I'm only putting you on the spot because I know you can handle it. And everybody needs a good example, right? This is not micromanaging. I'm not putting anybody on the spot because I dislike somebody more than the other. This is so that everybody can learn through everybody's experiences, right? Like that's one thing about failure. And I was just talking to another friend from the gym about being afraid of failure, right? Because he asked me, "Ed, how are you not afraid of failure?" And that's because that's the reason why I can do so many things and fail at so many things. But I told him, I was like I get it. Once again, everybody likes a good success story, right? Everybody likes to talk about all the good things that they're about to do and all the great things that they have already done. And think about how many people do that. And I won't keep you guys long because I gotta go get on with my day. But how many people are excited to talk about their successes? Like 100%, right? I know all of you guys. If I asked all of you guys to tell me something that you guys are proud of, that you guys have successfully achieved over your lifetime, I guarantee you guys can tell me more than a dozen. And that's wonderful. But if I was to ask you to tell me about a failure that you guys are proud of, how many times can you guys actually tell me about a time where you failed learned something from it, was proud of it. You know, like for me, I am more happy, and this is what got him thinking differently, right? Because of the way I think. I told him, you know what the best part about a big failure is? Is it's a big fucking story, you know? And it's not like, yes, everybody does like to hear a good success story, but everybody also likes to help. Like regardless on how shitty of a person you guys might be, if you are or are not, and I'm just speaking in general to the world, everybody likes to feel like they're empowered, right? Like whether they feel like they're better than you or they can help you, like whether they come from a uh good intentions or not, people love to hear a good failure story or they love to hear a good come up story, right? You cannot have the come up, I mean, you cannot have the success without the come up, and the come up usually, you know, has some failure in it. I told him like, why aren't you just as proud to fail as you are to succeed? And he was like, I don't know, Ed, because I'm scared of the unknown. I was like, I know, like I know, I know all the answers. I know all the answers that I could possibly get as to why somebody's more excited about success than they are failure, right? And I was like, well, the fact that you're afraid to tell a good failure story tells me that you're not ready for the success, right? So, and it's just a different way to look at the failure, because to me, like I'm so happy. Like when I fail, I'm happy to repeat that story or to teach somebody a lesson from it, because that is time. Like with you guys, right? With you guys in my trading, I'm happy to speak about all the things I did wrong at the beginning that resulted in me being here at the top now with trading. I'm always more excited to tell you guys about my failure and all the things that I dealt with within the first 4 years to get me to this point. Because there's more for you guys, and this is a little bit psychological shit, but you guys will connect more, right? Like if we want to talk about psychology and business of anything, selling a product or service, or even just selling yourself in a relationship, like there's like, yes, there's always going to be good things to look towards. But how can I fucking, like, how can I connect with you? And the more that somebody tells me about their successes and shit, the more I'm going to be like, are you really only in this for yourself? Like, are you a selfish person? That's kind of what you think. But when you have somebody who's not afraid to tell you about their failures and what they've been through, it's a sense of vulnerability, right? It's a sense of being vulnerable that they're okay with to tell you what they did wrong. Because nobody wants to be wrong, right? Even growing up, we were all taught do things the right way. It's like, well, what the fuck's the right way? What the fuck is the right way? The steel factory is kind of a little bit of both. So the factory actually makes 30 years this year. When I first partnered with it, that was about, I don't know, going on like 15 years now. I didn't really do much until the last decade. The first 5 years was just learning about steel business and how it runs. But the last decade, I got more into it because, well, we needed more money. So um, it's not from scratch, like, but it was a very small, like it was, I don't know, 50 employees maybe. It wasn't very big at all. But at my entrance to the company, that's when the company started exploding from there. And it's mainly just because, once again, like all these things that I'm teaching you guys and telling you guys about, even trading and how I live my life, is how I deal with business, right? Like just from the steel factory alone, co-owner, partner, there's no way, like there's no way I'm going to be the sole owner of this company, because I don't like I'll be real, when it comes to operations, I don't want to fuck with it. Do I understand how everything works at the steel factory? Yes. Do I want to deal with daily operations? Fuck no. So what do? I have people who can handle that, right? And even from that, just me telling you that, like, that is a mindset that most people don't have. Most people want to handle everything, right? Most people want to do it all. They want to handle operations. They want to handle HR. They want to handle what's the chemical composition of what we're doing today. They want to handle the distribution. They want to handle logistics. They want to handle marketing. They want to handle sales. You cannot. A company, and that's probably why most people fail at businesses, because they forget the key aspect of any business, and that is the human aspect of it. There's always, whether it's a fucking lemonade stand or whether it's a steel factory, there's always the human aspect of the workers and whoever's buying your product, right? What up, Robin? But and I've learned to just dictate work. When you get to this, even now, like even aside from the steel business, when I'm doing like normal daily shit in my life, the first thing I think is, who can I ask to do this for me? you know, who can I pay to do this for me? Like even right now, I'm looking outside my window and my grass is fucking long because I haven't been home in like fucking 2 months. And I'm thinking to myself, and that's the first thing I weighed out in my head is, could I cut the grass myself? Yes. How much time is it gonna take me? Probably taking me about an hour and a half. I gotta do the backyard. I gotta do the front yard. I'll probably want to like edge up the side and shit. And I'm like, well, who the fuck can I pay? And how much is it gonna take for me to do that? It'd probably take me 50 to 75 bucks. Like I got a Mexican dude that I'll call that will come cut the trees, cut the grass, shine all my shoes for probably like 75 bucks. What'll that do? That'll save me an hour and a half. So simple shit like that, though. But yes, can I afford to do it? Yes, can I afford. Money does help, but what I will say is the money should not stop you guys from changing up your guys' mindset on how you look at every single task, right? And that's why even with trading, I tell you guys to write shit down. Like you guys gotta write these things down so that you can make it tangible, right? Just like a good idea. A good idea is only as good as it is tangible. The more that the idea stays in the head and it's not implemented, the more it just stays an idea and it's not even anything tangible in this world, right? That's it. Like even with me telling you guys that I need to find funding, that is me taking the idea of needing to find money and now I'm communicating it to you guys. You know, are any of you guys capable of actually getting me funding? I don't know. But it shouldn't stop me from being vulnerable enough to let you guys know I gotta go find money. Maybe you guys might know somebody. Maybe today you're gonna go fucking, I don't know, to the fucking store and you bump into some billionaire or somebody that has money. Like who the fuck knows? But I gotta put that out there so it makes the ripples in the world, and the world now knows, right? There's another dozen people here that now know that I need to find money. And for some reason, if you guys bump into that, it will reward your life as well, right? And for you guys to just make an introduction or to tell somebody that I this is what I'm doing, it'll cost you nothing more than a few minutes of your time, but the reward that you'll get if you guys can find me funding is substantial, right? Risk versus reward. Everything is risk versus reward. But that's my point, is I'm not afraid of the failure. I'm not afraid. And me asking for money is not because of any failure at all. Me asking for money is because we need to expand. But that's my point, is like no matter what it is, like don't be afraid of the failure. This is probably like the second month going on that I'm looking for funding. I needed 15 million 3 months ago. I've got the 10 million. Now I need 5 more million on the line of credit. So I'm making progress in the right direction. Even when I needed to ask for the 15 million 2 months ago, and I only got the 10 mil, I was like, well, fuck, that's more than I had 2 months ago. So don't be afraid of the failure, guys. But you guys got to, once again, write shit down. Price. Looking at price right now, we broke through that downtrend line that I have, and now we're here at the level. So it's not a big difference from where we got in, from where I exited. Do I invest in stocks or crypto? I don't fuck around with crypto. I have some things. I don't have any single solo stocks. I'll tell you right now, everything that you guys know of traditional shit, like to make money, the average working class worker slash poor should not have any money into it. Anything that you're probably well aware of is probably not the best way for you guys to grow money, right? And I don't. And yes, there's different reasons why you would put money in specific places, but if growing your money is one of them, it's not. And like unless you have $500,000, unless you have $250,000 to put into stocks and crypto, your money shouldn't be going into stocks or crypto, right? And I mean like 250,000 of money that you could lose right now, right? Because the moment you put money into stocks or crypto, you got to understand there's a chance that you're going to lose it. So unless you have that much money to just forget about, right? Because what, and it's just like trading, guys. If any of you have money that you put into stocks and crypto, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you guys what to do with your money. This is purely education. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you have any money in stocks and crypto and you don't have a good reason why, other than here's the thing, if you put money into stocks or crypto just because, fine, right? Because just because means you're okay with losing the money. But if you have stocks and crypto and you don't have a strategy as to why you bought it whenever you bought it, other than just because, I'm gonna be like, why would you be doing that, right? If you can't even do the juice strat consistently, why would you be gambling with anything else, right? It's the saying of investing in yourself that's probably worth more than anything else. It is. Like, and you don't even have to spend money on yourself, right? You want to go to school, get an education, please do, please do, but do something that you actually enjoy, right? And even when if you go to school for something that you thought you enjoyed and then you decide the next day that that's not what you want, it's okay to move on to the next thing, which is something that we were never taught really either, right? Like at least for me too, when I went to school, when I wanted to change my major, everybody freaked the fuck out, and I was like, why? Is this your fucking life? Like, are you the one sitting in class not enjoying what you're learning? But there's a stigma about failure. There is a stigma about not being consistent in what you are like wanting to go towards. Like, it's not like, as long as you have direction and you're working towards it, whatever comes along, whether it's a redirection or you go towards the direction that you're going, it's all good. It's all good. If you're going somewhere and 90% of the way when you're there you decide I don't want to go there, guess what? It's okay. you know like, it's okay. And I, once again, I have the fuck it mentality. As I was in college, I really was like, fuck it, fuck what anybody thinks, fuck what my family thought about what I'm doing, fuck what my friends thought, because if I cared about what everybody had thought, I 100% would not be here right now in the position that I'm in. Because I even, like I said, I always bring up when my like sophomore year of college and my junior year, that's when I started networking and I just started meeting people. None of my friends wanted to go out with me, like go networking, whatever the fuck you call it. Like even this last Thursday, I went out to an event, um, and I went by myself. I know people who put the event on and I know people there, but I went purposely by myself to see like what socializing is like now, right? Like I had no real intention of the night other than me going out and having a good time. That was the direction that I knew I was gonna go Thursday. And I ask all of you guys selves, would you guys go out by yourself to an event of like 200 plus people, and would you feel comfortable being there? For the majority, they'd say probably no, right? You'd feel more comfortable going with a friend, or having me there or something like that, right? But my ass drove myself there, met 20, 30 new friends, got just enjoyed the whole fucking night. And now my network, my circle of friends has expanded, right? And it's a good thing to know that I can go out and what people would feel like is a failure type of night of going out by yourself to me is not. Like even if I went out, I mean I knew the moment I was gonna step out that door and get to that event, I knew I was gonna meet people and I would have a good time and I would make connections. But for the majority, I guarantee the moment they fought, because I had another friend that was supposed to be going with me and he didn't go. Right? For the majority of people, they'd be like, well, I'm not gonna go anymore. Like fuck that. I was like, you don't want to go? All right, I'm gonna go. But is it a different mindset? Yes. Is it something that you guys can all do? Like, yes. Like, you just gotta do it. Like, so fuck the social anxiety. Social anxiety only exists for the people who diagnosed it. Like, I don't, I had some time. That last thing I'll speak on before I get out of here. And if anybody has questions about the movement or the entry I took today, feel free to question it or ask me now. But I have friends who are therapists, and they always get pissed off at me because every time they talk to me about something that's whatever a disorder or something's wrong, I'm always like, who the fuck diagnosed that? And I don't mean like in the last year or what doctor diagnosed it. I'm like, what? When did these things happen? And yes, I do know like for the very few, yes, like chemical imbalances produce these type of things, right? But unless you're like really, really diagnosed, and unless you're like I don't know, there's some kind of really fucked up thing going on in your head, you guys all have a conscious, right? And you guys are all able to think. So I think like with anything else in life, it's a skill that you guys just have to work on. So when they told me about social anxieties and things, I'm like, what's the social anxiety? Social anxiety of what? Of what? Of somebody judging who you are? Like nobody even fucking knows who you guys are, right? That night that I went out on Thursday, I spent about 15 minutes just standing in the corner watching people. I had a drink, just stood there, watched people, watched what they were doing, watched how comfortable, right? And that's I look at the world differently, but when I'm there, when I'm at an event, what I like to picture is I like to picture a watering hole, like back in the day with animals, right? Or even like with the dinosaurs. When you're around the watering hole, everybody's kind of there uh peacefully, right? Like there's nothing, nobody usually has a bad intention at the watering hole. Like even with like wild animals, you really didn't have to worry about anything because everybody's there for the same thing, to enjoy themselves, to have a good time, to drink some water, and then go the fuck home. But just like in the wild, there's always cliques, there's packs, right? The packs of animals. So I'm looking at the packs of people, the cliques of people who are there. And yes, I end up knowing like the whole fucking place, but that's kind of beyond the point. I know everybody because I go out and I know people. But as I'm looking at all these people, I'm like, okay, 3 girls, 4 girls in that pack, 2 dudes in this pack, 3 girls here, these guys over here in this corner, fucking the gay couple over there, fucking lesbian couple over there, the girls who think they're lesbian that are acting lesbian tonight because they're too drunk, they're the Asian, the fucking blacks, Puerto Ricans, like whatever, the white folk. It's I like to think of it like that because you can start to navigate how you want to be. Like when I'm out, I'm whoever the fuck I want to be. Yes, I'm Ed, but I'm not afraid to just shove myself into a fucking little clique or something and just start talking. Because the worst thing they're going to do is fucking is shove me off and I'll be like, okay, well, on to the next pack. But that's the watering hole, right? When you're at the watering hole, you can expect that you're going to see the pack of elephants, the pack of lions, the pack of whatever. Mike. Who the hell is Mike? From The Office? I must have not seen that episode. He just puts his hat on back. Ah, okay. Thank you. Now I remember. But yeah, but I mean, you don't have to go that far as like fucking creating a whole new persona. But for those of you who are socially awkward, if you gotta create a new persona, fucking do it. Because I'll be real. If you feel like you need to create a whole new persona when you're going out, it probably means you're not happy with who you are, right? And then write that shit down and realize that, hey, maybe I'm not happy with who the fuck I am. And there's always reasons as to why you guys are not happy with who you guys are, especially in like society. And that's when I got back from Vietnam this last time, and I was in Texas. And then when I got from Texas to over here, like there is a sense of depression, like with everybody. Like the whole United States, the whole fucking Estados Unidos is fucking in depression right now. Because like life seems to be hard right now. But I'm like, life's not even that hard compared to how it was 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And yes, cost of living getting higher. Yes. Jobs working 9 to 5s hard. Yes. So do something about it, right? Like that's the only thing I can say is do something about it. But it's sad because like I'm so excited to like leave because of the way it is here right now. I'll always love America. This is my home, but the majority is not changing the way they think. So I got to get away from it more than not. I got to get away until it gets better, right? And I know like the effects that I have on maybe your guys' lives and the close people that I'm in contact with. Yes, maybe you guys might be able to still stay pretty positive throughout your guys' day after like speaking to me and things like that. But for the majority, I cannot fucking no. I would not move to a different state. I think Oregon's a great state. And I can go into a whole fucking long laundry list of the reasons why. And the only one that I'll really bring up is making something of yourself. Like, there's no other state right now that I would tell anybody, whether, even if you were just born, if you were just born, or if you're from out of you're international, and you asked me where to move, I would tell you to move to fucking Oregon because it's kind of the only place that is bearable right now. Like people used to want to move to California, and yes, are there places that you can move to California that is cheap relative to LA or San Francisco or something? Yes. Is the opportunity the same? Fuck no. But that's my point. Is like if you look at where where life is like centralized, it's on the coasts, right? It's on the coast, it's on the west coast, it's on the east coast, and then it's Texas. Like that is where all life exists here in the United States, the majority. Washington, I won't even say Washington. I'm just going to say Seattle because Seattle is really everything that Washington has to offer other than nature. Oregon, California, East Coast, New York, Chicago, Boston, Florida, and that's kind of it. And then Texas. That's it. When I was working for Expo Meet, I met a lot of really wealthy people there, all moving from Cali like 1 year ago to Oregon. I mean, here's the thing: everybody's always moving to Oregon, but it's a very sheep mindset, and there's nothing wrong with having the sheep mindset. If the only reason why I would say it's wrong is if you're not conscious of it, right? Because I moved to Oregon for the same reason, like for the advertising world, like 15 years ago, being a creative, like an artist, being in the advertising world and the marketing world, Oregon was probably the best place to move to for that career set. But over the years, it's kind of like slowed down. So everybody's always moving to Oregon, because it is a red state that shows that it's blue, right? Like Oregon is a very red state. There is a lot of wealth here in Oregon. The only difference with Oregon is the way they conduct themselves, at least the wealthy people. The wealthy people, the people who are controlling Portland people like puppets know exactly what they're doing here. So people think that Portland, especially, is like this most, beautiful, welcoming, mixing, melting pot of a place to be. But honestly, it's no different than any other state. But if you have even just the slightest difference in how you think about it, you can shine that much brighter here and faster. Like the same, I've spent probably what 13, 14 years now here. And I realized that like the first fucking year that I was living here. I was like, this place is so vanilla. And yes, Portland is the whitest city in America. But Portland is so vanilla that it's a good thing. From a business aspect to a career and education aspect, that means you should be happy to want to put yourself out there and to look like a fool in pursuit of greatness, right? Like if you come here and you do something big and substantial and you fail, people will fall in love with you because you failed but you tried, right? You'll make that big of a wave here even if you fail. If you do that same thing in a different state, boy oh boy, you'll probably get depressed and you'll probably fucking commit suicide because it's just nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. But it's real. Like that's why, like, I think, and yes, Portland cost of living is pretty fucking low compared to any other place. You can go fucking work at Burger King right now and probably live a comfortable life here, and it's fine. Like if that's really to the extent of what you guys are going after in life, you could come here. But other than that, like, why do you think I'm gone so often? Right? Like, look at my lifestyle. I love coming back home to Oregon, but I love leaving it. And it's only because I've established and I've conquered like everything that I could possibly do here in Portland and Oregon. And that's the same way I feel about Hawaii. Because when people find out that I'm from Hawaii, they're like, oh, well, why did you leave Hawaii? I was like, first of all, I'm fucking poor there. Like when I was living there, I was fucking poor. Like not even working class. I'm poor. Super poor. Poor as fuck. You know? I was like, that's the reason. I had to leave there. I did everything I could possibly do there, and then I moved on, right? I move on for different reasons from different places. But all I know is that I will never leave this foundation that I've created here in Portland. Because no matter where the world goes, the United States, Portland will always remain a good place to be living. If you can think differently. If I was living in like California or Seattle or anywhere else, there are so many other reasons for failure than there are in living here, right? Like even if you want to talk about like being in Texas or something, because I do have a lot of friends who live in Texas, and they're like, it's a great place, for $300,000 you can get a fat mansion, and I'm like, yeah, but what about the heat? What about the heat? What about the driving? What about the career opportunities? Texas it's a great place, but there's no opportunity there. Like at least in my opinion. And I tell my friends that all the time. I was like, you guys are living here and have been doing the same thing. And that's for anywhere. But more than anywhere else, like Texas is horrible for the heat, for the distance you have to drive, the type of people you have there. And I'm not against, that like the majority of people who live in Texas are military. All of them. San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth. It's military. And there's nothing wrong with being in the military, but you got to look at the mindset of a soldier, right? You want to be a soldier, you want to be an order taker. That's the lifestyle you want to live because you believe in it. Please, more power to you. I pay my taxes. I do what I can, whatever. But like I was saying, if that's not the life you want to live, get the fuck out of there, right? Like all of my friends, I got friends who do nails there. I got friends who own nail salons. I got friends who do insurance there. And I'm like, you could do that anywhere else in the world. I was like, you guys don't do some fucking life changing career that only exists in Texas. Like, you guys can do it anywhere, right? But whatever. That's their own fucking personal decision if they want to still live there. But that's my point. Is like, even them doing nails here in Portland, they could probably make more money, have a better quality of life here. Which what does that in turn give you? More time to figure out your life on how to make it easier. Like Portland's just a great place to make time. That's all I'm gonna say. It doesn't even have to be money. It can be time. Because even if you wanted to come here and only work at Burger King, and then you wanted to enjoy yourself and have all the time in the world because you have no other aspirations in life, you could do that happily here in Portland. Like you really could. You really could. Full-time burger flipper, enjoying your life. I would say this is the best state to do it in. And just from that, knowing that that is the bare minimum, that you could still be happy working at McDonald's here at full time, it means the opportunity here is way more than any place else in the fucking. Now, I'm not going to say world. Actually, no. I think I would. I would. If I had to compare opportunity with at least my experience in life, I think Portland is probably one of the best places to create opportunity in the world. And I only know that because I've done business in Europe, I've done business in Asia, I've done business in the US. Yeah, like it really is. Like Portland is one of the best places in the world right now to figure your shit out. That's kind of mind blowing. See, when you talk things out, you start to realize, and that's for me, that's fucking empowering. Because when I leave here on the 8th, and I think of everything that I'm just talking about right now, me being able to leave, I've been around the world like 4 times this year. I wouldn't be able to do that unless I came here and I lived here and I created what I did here. Like that's impossible. It's just a fact. Like I'm not even trying to be like talk about my successes, but it is. It is, yeah. Damn, that's a good realization. Yeah. It's being conscious, right? Make the decisions and then be conscious of what the fuck's going on. Do you still think price is going to reverse or push to gold? At this point, we're above the perp. I would say we're making a slow move up, right? If I'm gonna base my answer on the juice strat, I would say we just bounced off of the gold zone. We are above that downtrend line that I have, and price is above perp. So any other day, price would slowly move at some point all the way up. It's 820 right now. We didn't get any, right? When do we get the volume? 630, 815, 10, 15. So if we didn't get the volume here at 815, possibly we'll see it at 10, 15. But I'm already done, so I gotta go return a bunch of shit today. So I might have to go to LA on Thursday. Actually, I just got a message now. Son of a bitch. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I might have to go to LA on Thursday. Son of a bitch. Ah, that's life. I don't mind LA, but LA's kind of a fucking shithole. Everybody thinks LA's beautiful and Hollywood and shit, but it's actually a big ass shithole. So, and I say that with confidence. All right, y'all. I got a DTFO. once again, take away from this day, understand everything that you guys are doing, right? When it comes to the trading part, gold zone. Take your entries near the gold zone if you can, right? That's about it. Alrighty, guys. My entry was 635. Started jamming contracts at 650. Held to 715 as price broke up. And price really has just ranged here on this level. Know when to walk away, right? That's the last thing I'll leave you guys on. I've only made $300 from this day, and I'm okay with closing my chart and never looking at it until tomorrow. You guys need to start doing that, right? Stop. Even if you make money and then you trade at a lower lot size and you happen to lose money, I'm going to tell you, you guys are not in the position where you guys should be doing that. You guys are not in the position where you should gamble any of what you have won away ever. And even if price continues all the way up to the next gold zone, it doesn't matter. Like, grow the account. 300 that I made today, $1,500 a week, 3 6, that's 6 grand a month. If I just do $300, but I usually do more than that, right? All right, I gotta take this call. I'm getting a call right now, so I'll talk to you guys later. Message me if you guys need me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Laters.